A warm welcome to all our CCR TV viewers. Today focus is on rebuilding lives in riot-hit Manipur. Without a shade of doubt, there is an immense humanitarian crisis in Manipur. Though it started somewhere in May 3rd, 4th, the crisis continues and there are more than 60,000 people who have been displaced from their villages and their homes. Most of the displaced persons are living in relief camps. There is little chance today that these relief camps will be wound up, and we do not know when normalcy will be restored in Manipur. The humanitarian crisis of the internally displaced persons is unfortunately continuing. As such, efforts have been going on to provide a lot of relief material, and nobody knows till when these efforts must continue, because we need to alleviate and prevent further human suffering in Manipur. There have been several organizations helping the relief work in Manipur. In Goa, what we know so far, there have been two NGOs involved in this great humanitarian work. One is the Street Providence based in Sangolda, Saligaon, and the other has been Caritas India, with Caritas Goa being the one who has made pretty good efforts to understand the nature and scale of the conflict. Caritas India, Caritas Goa has offered their support and solidarity to the victims of violence, and they are still assisting their relief efforts. We know that numerous lives have been lost, maybe somewhere around 170. Many villages have been razed. Sexual violence has been unleashed. Livelihoods uprooted. Thousands have been displaced, and this crisis continues from May 3rd, 2023. Following the violence, some Methi people fled their areas to the valley, and Kuki people escaped the valley areas for the hills. There are camps both in the Methi region as well as the hills where the Kukis are there. They say that more than 57,000 internally displaced persons are living in relief camps in both the hills as well as valleys of Manipur. Not only that, many people have sent their children, their infirm relatives and women out of Manipur to relatives in other parts of India, especially in northeastern states like Mizoram, Nagaland, Assam, or to cities in mainland India, especially Delhi. This itself could be about 10 to 20,000 people scattered all over. There are many camps, relief camps. There's only one camp in Imphal run completely by the state government, and that is basically for the Methis. And they are getting full support in their camps, which are being run in colleges, sports complexes, whereas the Kuki camps are mainly being managed by the local church and supported by the community's contribution. Seems to be no end in sight, and families that gave shelter to displaced persons are now encouraging people to shift to relief camps. That means the load on the relief camps is bound to increase. Caritas India is in the thick of action in Manipur relief camps. There must be several Caritas from other states working also towards that direction and being in touch with the Archbishop of Manipur and Mizoram. They are the ones who know exactly what is the problem. Caritas Goa has also taken its lead in this great humanitarian work, And this work of Caritas Goa has been led by its director, Father Maverick Fernandes. Father Maverick, welcome to you. We are very glad that you are here with us. We know that Caritas India was launched or founded on 1st October 1962, and its basic aim is to bring compassion and love to humanity. Caritas is present in nearly 200 countries. There are more than 160 members, and Caritas is the second largest humanitarian network in the world, just after the Red Cross. Basically, it is there to alleviate human suffering. Caritas India has been recognized even by the Government of India as the leading NGO in poverty alleviation through community managed disaster risk reduction and natural resource management. Caritas India operations, they were initiated through a disaster response during the Bangladesh refugee crisis in 1971. The Government of India did recognize them, and they have now over 5 decades of experience, which has led to diversification and upscaling of interventions. The big history about this, and we shall see how much we can share with all our viewers of CCR TV. To start with, could Father Maverick share with us what exactly relief have you been providing to this present crisis in Manipur?
Yeah, it is a pleasure to be here and share the information with our viewers. Soon after this crisis emerged in Manipur, we immediately got in touch with our Caritas India directors and the management there. They informed us that the teams have already moved to Manipur to reach out to people. This was not a situation of rescue but more of a relief, because people were stranded in different places, so they had to be placed for a relief purpose. The various camps that emerged in the course of time were being supported by the different organizations, very much also by Caritas India. When I inquired from the management there that should we arrange for relief materials to be sent from Goa, they very categorically told us there are a lot of logistical problems in the area. Besides, from Goa to Manipur having transportation costs and logistical difficulties, it would be better to provide monetary assistance. And therefore, immediately our Archbishop we decided as an immediate relief that we will release 20 lakhs as a response to the crisis from the Archdiocese of Goa.
That was the first installment, yes. So as to say.
Yes.
20 lakhs.
Yeah. So subsequently we kept in touch to know what is the ground reality. And constantly we were getting information about the relief distribution that was going on. The relief distribution in different ways that went on. The food kits, the shelter NFI distribution, the dignity kits to women, young girls, the individuals with medical and psychosocial support, the nutritional distribution to children. The relief camps required also water purifiers. The hygiene promotion was to be taken care of. So all these aspects were looked as a relief need of people. And Caritas India was present to provide all these things.
Yeah, because the Street Providence sent a lot of relief material initially. And Caritas, on the other hand, gave them total financial support, because I think logistically it's much better to give them financial support so that they can decide where to get these things, and it is closer for them to get what they need.
That's exactly the point that I'm trying to raise, that sending things from here was a logistical issues that the people were facing, because they said, and even it's today, when I spoke to the counterparts there, they told us that there are 4 checkposts, each managed by different tribes. So passing through those checkposts with the relief material is a big hurdle that they are facing.
It is.
So it is better from the ones at the local level purchasing and distributing them. So this is what we decided, that we will provide monetary assistance so that they can locally purchase and provide.
So you have provided monetary assistance in two different...
Yes. So first we decided we'll send at 20 lakhs, and then we sent an appeal to different parishes and individuals and organizations. They started contributing. So Caritas Goa acts as one of its programs, of the many programs, is to function as a nodal office for the Archdiocese in times of crisis situation and when there are natural and man-made calamities. So we afterwards coordinate this work of the financial aspects about receiving and then distribution. In that same context, we continued the same service of receiving the amounts from different parishes, from individuals, from people across, and then we made distribution.
So did you make an appeal to all the churches?
We made the appeal to the churches and the general public.
Yes.
So it's not just the people from the churches that contributed, the general individuals also from different faiths, they contributed.
I think on a larger scale, Caritas Goa has been the only organization in Goa to raise so much relief.
So afterwards, what we did is we started getting this amount. So we decided to send another 45 lakhs directly to Imphal Archdiocese so that they would be able to...
That means you have almost contributed 1 crore of rupees by now?
By another 41 lakhs we sent to Caritas India, so that in total it's more than 1 crore, and still people are continuing to give.
Because even then I was told that the scene in Cookie Hills is heart-wrenching.
Yes.
Some places are uninhabitable since they were fully destroyed by the violent mobs. Many suspect that it is part of a premeditated and planned strategy. I heard 87-year-old Archbishop Emeritus Thomas Menamparampil of Guwahati, who praised the nuns and the priests who continue to serve the people of Manipur, even risking their lives. He highlighted that the sisters are doing a tremendous job in Manipur at this hour of crisis, especially standing with women and children who are most vulnerable and targeted.
I want to share one point over here. The reach of Caritas Goa has not been to one tribe. It has looked at Cookies, it has looked at Meiteis, it has looked at whoever
because
is the person
you
in
cannot
need.
discriminate.
We never discriminate.
It's a humanitarian crisis.
In any of our work, we never discriminate.
Yeah. So it goes for both. Meitei,
Yes.
Cookies, of course there are no Naga camps there. But it goes for both.
Whoever is affected with the violence is given assistance.
Yeah. So that means the Catholic Church does not only look after the Catholics, but looks after all human beings who are the victims of this conflict, whether they are Meiteis or whether Cookies is not the concern. The main crux is help those who are in need.
Yeah, because the image of God is in the human person, not in the tribes. These are man-made. So we look at the human person, and humanity is what we reach out to. So that's why we don't look at any ethnicity of any religion, but we look at the human person, because that's where we see the image of God.
And I think the Archdiocese is conducting surveys in all the relief camps, and they are in the best position to pinpoint what exactly is the need of relief.
Correct. So this is what is happening on a daily basis. The staff, the volunteers are in the distribution. They have now created child-friendly spaces for children because they have not been able to enroll in schools.
Yes.
They have created spaces for women to be together and discuss things and look at life ahead. So there's a lot of future planning that is going on through the Caritas initiatives. Psychosocial support is provided to people because they are in a state of trauma.
Yes, there is a very big emotional trauma, that's what they say.
So the youngsters are in a traumatic situation, not knowing what is the future for them. So these are aspects which Caritas is looking at. Apart from the food and the shelter aspects, this looking at the human aspects.
So are you also looking into the educational aspect of the children?
Yeah, so the education is by volunteers within the camps and creating child-friendly spaces, so I get the artwork and learning materials are provided to them.
Will the church also provide psychological or emotional counseling?
Yeah, that's what is going on. A lot of counselors are there on the ground, meeting youngsters, meeting women, meeting men to provide this emotional support. So this is
I remember one priest who witnessed a church going in flames, and he said, "The memory of desecration of the church, breaking of statutes, altar, and the huge crucifix before my eyes will haunt me forever." He said, "I was forced to watch the desecration and torching of my church."
It's terrible.
It's terrible. It's very terrible.
But we are moving ahead despite all this so that people can rise up. See, Caritas has got this philosophy that we have to be providing hope in a very hopeless situation.
Yes.
And that is what, at the ground level, we are trying to give hope to people, not to see as this is an end, but they can still move ahead in life.
Because
this is a crucial aspect.
Caritas has been having their interventions in emergency and disaster risk reduction, in climate adaptive agriculture and sustainable livelihood, in tribal development, Dalit inclusion and development, child protection and development, anti-human trafficking, community health care with focus on HIV, AIDS, malaria, TB and other communicable diseases. Caritas India has contributed to nation building. So far they have supported over 22,945 projects to the tune of 13,730 million rupees. It's a fantastic work that the Caritas India has done, but I don't think so everybody knows the work that you have been rendering for this humanitarian cause.
Yeah, one of our drawbacks, if I would say, is not publicizing what we do, because we believe that our work should speak.
Yes.
And this is what we see now, the work is speaking for different
and the beauty of Caritas, it has shifted from charity and welfare mode to a rights-based approach.
Correct.
Do you also do this in Goa?
Very much. We had very consciously decided to move on from the charitable aspects to a rights-based approach. And that's why we have a spectrum of work that is going on in Goa through our various institutions and community services.
Yeah, it's basically love and compassion.
That's what Caritas is. Caritas means love, and we try to put flesh and blood into that love.
Yes.
That's what Caritas is.
Could you tell us more or less the work that you do? When did you start in Goa? And what is the progress from then to now?
Yeah, Caritas Goa was established on the 4th of January 1962. So it's immediately after the Caritas Portuguesa left on 19 December 1961. The first decision that the then Archbishop did was establish Caritas Goa. And from then, so last year we completed 60 years.
60 years
of our service to the state of Goa. So Caritas Goa has got its origins in service to people, and it continues from a different aspect of looking at the rights of people. We run several institutions in Goa. In fact, I would say that we are the pioneering institute as far as disability is concerned. One of the first institutions for education and livelihood was started by Caritas Goa in Old Goa. Today also we have several other programs for disability. We run another institute, 2 institutes in fact, taking specifically care of the deaf, blind children and young adults. We have set up an institute in Saligaon, and another very specific program with separate staff we have set up in Margaon. So nearly another 200 children are being taken care of by Caritas India of deaf blind. So we are one of the only institutions taking care of the deaf blind in the state of Goa. Nobody else does this. Besides, we have also for adult disabled in Porvory called Divya Sadhan, we have another program where we take care of adult disabled. So focusing on disability is one aspect, but also the rights of people with disability. So for that reason, we lobby with the government for the rights of children, young adults, as far as the disability is concerned. Besides, we are also into reaching out to different aspects of children's needs. Till very recently, we ran 3 units of Childline in Goa. Until the government took over this service, Caritas was managing 3 units in the state of Goa, looking at the issues of children. Besides that, we have another institution for children with HIV. So we take care of them. Today we find such a joy to see the children who came to us like little babies. They have grown up, they are doing professional courses, some of them have got married, have got children who are negative. So this is the joy that we find in reaching out. When we started that way back, questions were raised, why invest in people who are going to die? But today we see that they are living with very successful life, happy life and happy married life also. So we look at their progress through the various professional courses that they are engaged in. Besides, we have another institute where children who are abandoned and also unwed mothers, so they are taken care of. Because we are also an adoption agency for in-country and out-country adoption. So these children who are parents, unwed mothers who relinquish them, we place them in adoption. We run a very significant program for training of home nurses.
Yeah, that is something which people look for now.
Yes. In fact, there are always 15 to 20 families on our wait list waiting for this service. Because we do it in a very professional manner. They go through a year's course of answering a government certified course with an exam conducted by the government, and then they go in for service. So the families can not send their old people to old age homes, because that's what we don't want to start. We want them to be within the home and provide service.
Do you have any old age homes?
We never.
You don't?
No, we never.
Don't.
We don't want to also.
Okay.
It's a very specific thing that we provide help within the home for people, so that people don't have that difficulty of sending them to old age homes.
Yes.
Very significantly, I want to share this is, you mentioned about the Bangladesh crisis and the recognition from the government. Incidentally, in the pandemic situation, Caritas India across the country was keeping an update on a daily basis of what the help Caritas India was giving.
You are referring to COVID?
On the COVID, yeah.
Yes.
And that was being sent to the government, that this is our contribution towards the nation as far as the COVID situation is concerned. The government, as in Bangladesh crisis, recognized this and was honored. Now, as a result, organizations, international, looked at the work that we did in a crisis situation and asked Caritas India to work in non-crisis situation with the migrants. As a result, we have now come up with different programs across the country, one of which Caritas Goa is partner in 8 states program called Pravasi Bandhu. In this Pravasi Bandhu, we take care of the migrant situations. In Goa particularly, we are looking at 3 different areas. One is the workers, migrant workers at in daily wage work, migrant workers who are in the industrial work, and migrant workers who are in the fishing community. So these are the 3 areas.
The fishing community
is
a
big one,
yes.
really big area of one. So we have focused in certain areas so that we are not able to do entirely thing, but we have focused in areas, and a lot of changes have taken place, a lot of entitlements. As I said, we are looking at their rights in terms of having their workplaces, in terms of their living places. So these are different aspects of work culture that is going on.
Yeah. And did you get financial assistance from the government also?
There are a few programs we used to get. One of our school is being supported by the government, and some of our institutes are supported. But largely our work is carried out because of the people's support.
Yeah. So people are always with you.
Yeah, people know what we are doing.
Yeah.
We are genuine, honest in the way we spend their money, and therefore people trust and offer things to us to take care of. What is significant and what I like most is when people come and celebrate their occasions within the institutes.
That's pretty nice.
And very particularly, there was a time when we started this work with the HIV children. The villagers were very apprehensive of the work that we started. Today, the same villagers come to celebrate their birthdays, their functions within the institute. So such a merging of good spirits have taken place.
You have a special school in Old Goa.
Yes.
That caters to whom, basically?
We take care of all types of disability, except the blind.
Okay.
Because for the deaf blind, we have a separate
one.
Whereas in Old Goa, we have a school and also boarding facility.
I think that was one of the
first one.
The first school
in the state of
Goa.
Yeah. So that was a very pioneering initiative of the church in Goa to look at disability when nothing was being spoken at that time. So that was a very pioneering initiative.
And you continue.
And it continues. We have from pre-primary to the higher secondary. We have children who have just returned from from Germany,
from
as
Special Olympians. So many of them won gold,
So
silver and bronze.
We've really
Yes.
did our state proud
Yes.
with the disabled students who have.
Yeah. And in this hour of crisis in Manipur, did you have to explain to the parishioners what is the problem, and they contributed voluntarily?
See, what happened is the people were reading in the newspapers, they knew what was happening through the media. So it was not so difficult to make it known what is happening. They felt the compassion of the suffering people there, and they contributed. We wrote letters to the parishes asking them for that, this is the way we will be helping people. And immediately aid started coming from
your headquarters in Goa, where are they?
We are at Institute Piyadat.
Institute Piyadat. So and do you have offices in Goa, or this is main office?
This is the main office, and each home, each center that we have, they function independently.
Okay.
And they report to the main office in the month.
And you have worked with the migrants in Goa. Could you specify a little bit?
We have, in fact, we have now come up with a policy for a friendly migrant policy for the state of Goa. We have submitted to the government. So this is what we are talking about, the rights of people. Major portion of workforce in Goa is the migrants.
Yes.
But they are not getting the due recognition for their work. It is so unfortunate that they are, today we can call them city makers or city builders or village makers, because they are the ones who are providing all the services.
Yes.
But unfortunately they are, and the Goan community, I must say this very categorically, is so demeaning towards the migrants. When their own businesses are being managed, are being able to run with the migrant force.
Yes.
I had experiences during the pandemic situation where people came to hit my staff because they were providing to those migrants. They wanted them to only provide to the people from the village, from the locality, but not to the migrants. When on the basis of their migrant community who stay in their rented homes, they were earning themselves, but they don't want them to stay with them because they were not paying the rents at the time when the whole country, whole world was in a crisis. So this is the unfortunate mindset that we have, no?
But without them today, you cannot progress.
Nothing is possible.
Yes.
In the state of God. That is how the whole cultural and social situation has happened. Who is responsible? Why it is happening? That's a different debate to be considered. But the ones who are there and are making the city, making the villages, we've got to respect and recognize that services that they provide. So this is basically, we have put into this policy. We had done a series of consultation for a whole year involving government departments, involving migrants themselves, involving people from the social sector. And whatever information, whatever discussions, deliberations happen, we have formulated that into a policy. And I've submitted it to the Labour Department, because that's the nodal office for the government to deal with the migrants. So we are expecting this policy to be adopted by the state government. This is our hope and desire.
Or your future plans, anything that you have in specific?
In Caritas Goa.
In Caritas Goa.
We have a few things we are wanting to start, and one of it is to see as a Alzheimer's home, a dementia home.
Dementia,
because what we have noticed is that in the services that we provide to the people in home nursing, more than 85% of people in Goa are people suffering from dementia. So it's a growing aspect that we have got to provide care. So these are things which we are looking in terms of. Also, we need some institution over here which is affordable for people who are having mental illness. We have been catering to people who are mental retardation or intellectual disability, what we call it today. But we have not had something for mental illness. And this is one of the things that we are looking forward to. A few more things are there. We should not say everything together.
I know. But what is to be admired is you have been carrying on your regular work, and yet when this crisis in Manipur came, you said nothing doing. We have to be also part of the humanitarian relief work.
That's
Did you have time for all that? Do you have volunteers?
I don't do this work myself alone. People are there volunteering. And it's amazing to see that people come forward and saying that I will do this part, I will take care of this, I will help in this. without even asking. So we see the goodwill of people. And I must say, from all religions, people come and say that I want to do this part of your work. And this is what is very appreciative, to say that humanity exists.
It does.
It doesn't require to be hating one another. Don't with those labels of religion and ethnicity and all. Humanity can exist without all those labels. Let us continue to love. That's what Caritas is.
And I think Goa is an excellent example.
It is, and it was, but
I'm
scared. We are losing this. The recent developments that are taking place is, everybody suddenly comes to say, my sentiments are hurt, something else has hurt. Unfortunate things are happening in Goa at present. We should stay away from this. We should look at positives of human beings today.
Yeah, but then also this happening in Manipur, it is being interpreted in different ways by different people. And where are we heading? Do you think that peace will be restored very soon? I say very soon because it looks to be impossible in Manipur, Father Maverick.
I want this to happen. Everybody should yearn for this, and everybody should work towards this. Peace can happen because humanity still exists. Let's work towards that.
But did you ever see for yourself that one community hates the other community, indulge in killings? Where have we reached?
It is unfortunate what is happening, I must say, and we have to look at measures by which inter-religious dialogue, inter-ethnicity dialogue can be more positively practiced and promoted in the state and everywhere in the country.
Do you think that somewhere down the line we have failed in our educational philosophy? Because if character and morals are not formed right from the young age, I think it leads us to all this type of conflicts and situations.
Yeah, I remember in this context what Gandhi had said, no, it is not knowledge, but character is what can make this country. If we have only knowledge and no character, then we are not heading in the right direction. So this is what we need to see, that not just education per se, but education which can build character of people. This is what we need to do.
Because earlier we used to talk about morals, and in the Portuguese days I remember there were classes in character formation, morals and all that, which has been now discontinued. I don't think so. At that time it was religion that was imparted in the schools and colleges, but it was more to do with your character and with your morals. But no longer it is there, and therefore do you feel that it has to do the deterioration because of this aspect?
Yeah, that is what we are noticing, and the impact of the lack of those things are seen in the lives of people and the way people are living, hating each other.
Yeah, because even in Goa they say that all of us would mix freely without any thought whether you are X, Y or Z. But now of late, slowly these things are now creeping in.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yes.
That is what is happening, and that's what I was saying earlier. I'm scared. We had a very good image in Goa. We had a very good inter-religious coexistence was there. It has been gradually being deteriorating for reasons, people who know why they're doing it. And much of it, when we meet people from different religions, they cannot see when they begin to be suspicious of one another. This is a very dangerous thing. When people become suspicious of one another.
That was the reason why people would say that Goans are different from the rest of India.
That's what they said.
Yes,
I hope it continues.
It should continue. And I think occasions like this, where you have to send relief without looking into who you are, to whom you belong, I think that develops that sense of unity.
Yeah, it's not just relief time. In all our programs across, even in Goa, we don't look at any time whom we serve. Incidentally, we serve more people from other faiths than our own people. Because we are not looking at the religion of a person, we are looking at the need of the human person. And that is why we have never made any discrimination.
But basically, you are a neutral organization.
In terms
wherever
of,
there is suffering.
But our philosophy, our ideology is very much Christian, Catholic. We believe in Jesus Christ, and that's the love that we try to. But because Jesus Christ came for all.
But,
So we are reaching out to all.
and you are sending so much relief there. The church is, are you doing any conversions there?
That is an unfortunate tag that has been put into the Catholic community.
Yes. Or are you doing this because you feel that you will convert people?
That would have shown by the statistics of the country. It is unfortunate. It is that the statistics are very clear. It's only a narrative that has been created.
But narrative for what? What is the ultimate aim of this sinister?
For various games
move?
must be. We people who know why they are doing will know better why they are doing it.
See, your relief that you are sending for Manipur, it does not designate this will go for X or it will go for Y or Z.
It goes to everyone, whoever is in need.
Yes.
Irrespective of the community, ethnicity of the people, it goes to everyone. This is very categorically we can say, because ground level reports we receive to say that they are receiving, all people who are in need are receiving this.
And I think so that was one of the reasons why this team from Goa that had gone from District Providence, where our IGP was also there, Bosco George. I think they were allowed to move without much difficulty. Now, there's lots more to be done in Manipur, Father Maverick. Will you continue, or you will say we cannot do anything more?
In fact, we continue receiving funds from people. That was the first amount that we sent. Whatever comes in, we will keep sending it as in how it comes.
You have been involved in a lot of relief work,
yes,
but I think 1 crore must be the highest that you...
Certainly.
Yes, and you need still more.
Yeah, we still continue.
Do you think that people in Goa will say, no problem, we are still with those who are suffering?
Yes, we are receiving still from people, and we want to tell this, that we are still receiving, so we can continue contributing so that people can have a dignified life in Manipur. After the violence is over, let them come up to live a more humanly dignified life.
Yes. So many churches have been burnt and destroyed in Manipur. They will have to be restored.
They will take
you'll need much more. Yeah. Some of the temples also have been ruined.
Caritas will not be involved in building churches.
Yes.
That is the responsibility of the respective church dioceses who have there. Caritas looks at not in terms of building churches, it looks at more of humanitarian aid. So we'll restrict ourselves to that. So reaching out to...
So in other words, to make the lives of the people who are in the camps a little better than what it is now.
Relief is what reaches to human persons.
Yes.
And human persons is what is the focus of our work.
Yeah. Do you intend visiting Manipur? Your Caritas
at present, what happens is, taking care of me there is a logistical problem for them. I believe that people who are there can begin to continue to work and do, because they are from the local areas, they have to do the best. Later on, maybe it is not so much important for me to visit there. It's more important to see that the people receive the proper aid what we are contributing.
I mean, all Caritas all over India, they must be also part of this big relief work.
Yes.
Do you know anything extraordinary that being done by
lot of other dioceses also have been contributing, supporting very specific areas. So a lot of other of our counterparts in other states, other dioceses are providing. Particularly, some dioceses have taken responsibility of the psychosocial support to send.
That's what is the need now.
This is what is going on from different organizations.
And what was the reaction of our Cardinal Philip Neri Ferrand?
No, he was very immediate to respond to this. No, as I said to you.
Yes.
The moment the issue emerged, he said, "Let's help them," and we decided to send 20 lakhs immediately for the. So he's always in touch.
He is part and parcel of the entire relief work.
Yes, very much. He is our patron of our Caritas.
And you have your vision, formation of a just and sustaining social order where gospel values of love, equality, peace are nurtured and lived.
Yeah. So this is what we look at as a vision for Caritas.
Yes.
Because a just society can come only when people live in brotherhood.
How would you define just a society?
When everybody has got their entitlements, when everybody says that I can go to my work, I can receive my daily wages, I can be having my job, I can have my children can have education. When all have got their entitlements in place, that's a just society.
Yeah.
Without any discrimination.
And equality is a founding principle for you.
Yes. And therefore we reach out to all. No?
Yes.
We never made any discrimination in.
Ultimately, all these efforts lead to peace.
That's one.
Which is today absent in Manipur.
So we have to work towards that.
Yes. Yeah. Do you think ultimately there will be peace? Maybe we don't know when.
No, that is what we have got to hope and yearn for, because peace is something which Jesus came to establish. No?
Yes.
So that's why we have to all be partners.
But suffering has been part even of Jesus.
Yes. So suffering doesn't keep away peace from a person.
Yes.
The one who is understand what peace and what suffering is, he will move ahead.
I don't know what's the right question to be addressed to you.
Yeah.
What do you think is the real problem in Manipur between especially these two communities, Meiteis and Kukis? Is it difficult?
Yeah, I wouldn't like to get into that because it becomes more of a political discussion. But it was better for us to say that this has happened, this should not happen, and we have got to build up initiatives that such types of violence does not happen again.
Yeah.
Over there and anywhere else.
It's taking pretty long time, Father.
Yeah.
And nobody seems to know what is the way forward or what is the solution. The day before yesterday, last 5 days, 5 people have been killed.
Yeah. The news report which has come in, that firing continues. Today even when I was speaking to the persons in the ground level, they spoke about the shutdown called by the indigenous tribal group which is existing there because of the violence that's
without going into who is right and who is wrong. Peace has to be the ultimate
peace has to come.
Why it is so difficult? The whole world have resolved bigger problems than this. You had the Tutsi problem in Rwanda and all those problems have been solved and sorted out.
You need political will for this to put an end to such type of violence. I have heard the people, experts in this line, they say that one definite decision of the government can put an end to all this violence, which is...
It is unnecessarily festering. It is festering. And the sufferers are the poor people.
That's right.
Who have got nothing to do with this problem.
Yeah.
But I think you have done wonderful work to restore the human dignity of the poor and marginalized. And yours is a true empowerment process.
Yeah, thank you.
You have empowered and you are empowering people. I think so. The Caritas, India Caritas Goa, is aiming to elevate human suffering and misery in a spirit of charity and human compassion. You have been giving concrete expression to Christian love in humanity so that all persons may individually and collectively grow into that fullness of humanity at creation. We need to educate people and make them conscious and concerned about justice, cooperation and self-reliance. Do you have any message that you would like to give to our people on behalf of Caritas Goa and maybe even Caritas India?
I would like to say that let us learn to live as brothers and sisters, irrespective of our religion, our ethnicity, of any type of discrimination. Let us learn to live in love. Caritas is love. Let's live Caritas in our lives.
So I think we all need to extend our wholehearted support to rebuild the shattered lives of the people in Manipur. The government must take earnest steps to restore peace in the troubled state. Our brothers and sisters in Manipur are in deep pain and distress, and it is our moral responsibility to share our solidarity with them. Father Maverick, thank you very much for being with CCR TV. We wish you that you should continue doing this fantastic work that you are doing for the sake of humanity. And let us hope that this sectarian violence, which has divided people, especially the communities, that it will come to an end. Thank you, Father Maverick.
Thank you. Thank you.